Hi guys, I have a special guest today for our coffee date, and that is Ashlee from Smashnits. And I'm so happy, hello, to have her on
Hello.
here. She's our yarn sponsor for the Trial Lab. She does beautiful yarn in Canada. And I would say, Ashlee, why don't you say some words about yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Ashley from Smashnit. I live on the Canadian prairies with my 1-year-old son and my fiance. Very excited to be doing this chat interview with Marin. We've been collaborating together almost for a year since I think last August or close to that. So we've gotten to know each other and lots of chatting and talking, and it's been really great. I love connecting with other fiber artists, crafty people in general, and I'm really excited about the collaboration that we've been doing. I've been dyeing yarn since 2018 now. Prior to that, I sold a bunch of knitwear at a couple of boutiques and markets in my hometown. But now Smash Knits is dyed yarn, project bags, and all kinds of notions that are associated with the fiber arts that we all love so much. So recently, in 2021, my fiance Norm started helping. So now Smash Knits is the both of us, and I love being able to tell him what to do.
Yeah, I just
But
wanted to
also,
ask who's the boss?
yeah. But I love working with him. It's a lot of fun, and I feel very fortunate that it's something that we've been able to grow into supporting us. So we're really looking forward to seeing what the year ahead holds. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this chat with Marin.
That is so cool. I really love that. So I'm wondering, do you have kind of different, let's say, assignments on SmashNet? Does he do other things than you, or are you both doing the same? How do you handle
No,
it?
we definitely have our, I would say, areas of expertise. So I develop all our colorways and dye them. Norm cuts all the yarn, washes the yarn, twists it, labels it, gets it all packed up. He does a lot of the photography, and then I'll do edits. We both kind of do some online work, like behind the scenes, but I'm the social media manager, I guess you could say. So if you're chatting with us on Instagram, then it's me that you're talking to. We both do markets when we go to local fiber markets, and that's pretty much it.
Did your fiber markets open up again?
Yes,
Yes? Cool.
yes. There's a really big one that's coming up in September called the Manitoba Fiber Festival. It's an annual one that is all across the province, and it's yarn dyers, sheep farmers, alpaca farmers, any kind of fiber connection is invited. So it's a really great market to attend. Unfortunately, we won't be able to be there this year though, because it's on the same weekend that we're getting married. So
Oh no! Can't you get married
we had to
there?
pick. Yeah, we had to pick wedding or market, and decided on the wedding.
Yeah, it's only once. Only once.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Hopefully,
Yeah,
right? That's
cool.
the plan. Yeah, yeah.
I've never been to a Weimar market. I'm not sure if
Really
there
cool.
are any in Germany. Probably are. Never looked at it. That I actually live in a city where you have this huge trade fair. Um, I think it's called F&F. It was
H
this.
and H, right?
Yeah, it's
H
super
and H.
big.
I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it has been live this year again. I think the last year or maybe last 2 years have only been online because of Corona. This year it was again, but I haven't been there to be honest. And I would like to do more like a cozy fiber market. I actually designed trade fair stands some years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I do know that fair also very well, and I know how it feels to be on a fair. It can be really exhausting, and it's not as cozy as what you have. Probably pretty sure nobody is bringing some kind of sheep or alpaca there. It's
They do bring them
yeah, on your I'm
to
sure they bring them on your fiber market. They don't won't bring them to
yeah,
the trade fair. I think it's not allowed. Pretty sure it's not
yeah.
allowed. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, cool. Both actually being on the fiber markets and getting married. That's awesome.
Yes, yes.
Have you been waiting for a long time to get married now?
No,
No.
Norm just proposed last September, so
Ah.
we did it pretty quickly and only waiting a year. So we
Okay.
didn't have to wait like a lot of people who had to postpone their 2020 or 2021 wedding.
Yeah, actually, I have some friends
Yeah,
who changed their date. I think 3 times.
yeah, that would
Yeah,
be really tough. That's hard.
and I have to admit, I'm not sure honestly about the date they married, but they did get married last year in autumn, and it was really lovely. But
Yeah,
again, they were thinking, are we doing it? Are we not doing it? Then they decided, okay, we skipped it so often. Let's just do it.
yeah.
It was fine. It was really fine, but yeah, it was tough. What to do?
Well, it has been tough for everybody for the last 2 years. It's just been a very weird world that we're living in. But
Yeah,
hopefully, we're moving in the right direction now.
at the moment I don't feel like I feel like we are trapping from one to the other. But hey, I'm in Europe, so there's a war around the corner,
Yes,
right after
yeah,
Corona, and I'm
I
like, oh
know.
man, never stop the shit. Yeah, let's not talk about that one. I actually knit, so I try to forget that stuff. Okay, I
It's
want to
another
know.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another conversation, and it's not that I forget about it. But I get really depressed on it, so I try to avoid it. Try not to look too
Yeah.
much on the news. They're not making my life better, obviously.
No.
Yeah,
Well, you have to do what protects your faith and
yeah.
your mental health, right? That's important.
I still have to function for my family and my job, and
Yes.
so
Yes.
I need to take care about my mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to know how you actually started to knit, and if you crochet too.
Okay. That's always the question, isn't it? Um, my grandma taught me to knit and crochet when I was 5.
You
So that
lucky
was
girl.
a very long time ago. But then I didn't do anything with it
Mm,
until I was in my late teens, and I retaught myself. And this was before YouTube videos and Instagram. Um, so I had to go to the library and take out books and learn from those. And I do both, but I am a knitter first
okay.
and foremost. Knitting has my heart. Um, Crochet, I like for certain applications, but if I had to pick one, it would be knitting without question.
I have to say I learned crochet in school. I had a horrible teacher, so she really messed it up for me. Thank goodness she didn't teach me knitting. I'm really happy about that part. And for me, it's also like crochet feels very much suitable for definitely for toys and stuffed
Yeah.
animals. And so I think it's really cute for that. And also, oh my god, how do you say that? Like for cushions, whatever you have at home and need some kind of surroundings.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
For like home textiles, like
yeah,
washcloths and
yeah. So
some
for that
wearable
part, it's
pieces.
also awesome. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's get a bit more sturdy, I think. Yeah, so this kind of texture is very different to knitting. You don't get that good drape in it, or maybe I just don't know
Right.
how to do it. Okay.
No,
So,
I agree.
yeah,
Knitting is finer, and like lace knitting versus lace crochet, it just doesn't have the same look.
yeah. I'm not a big lace knitter either. So, but yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So you learned to crochet first,
I
and then you learned how to
actually,
knit.
I kind of learned to knit the very basic stuff from my stepsister when I was 4 or so. You know, knitting was very
Okay.
big in the 80s. Yeah, at the beginning, I think at the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s. So I remember being, I grew up in a patchwork family and I'm a weekend princess at my dad's new family. So I remember my two stepsisters were older than me and my stepmom knitting over the weekends their crazy sweaters. And one of my stepsisters tried to teach me how to knit. And I think the moment I kind of got it, they stopped knitting. So, and yeah, like you, I kind of learned the basic stuff, but I didn't make anything with it. And I started to knit much later than you did. Now, I did it when my son was 6 months old, which is
Yep.
3.5 years ago. So there was
Okay.
YouTube. And I remember searching for videos that taught me to knit how I learned it as a kid, because that actually was a moment where it clicked again. And it wasn't easy because I'm German and I knit continental, and I didn't know though what is English, what is continental, what is what. So it really took me a long time to find somebody who's doing this cast on like I did it and is knitting
Yeah.
continental. Yeah, but somehow I did manage that, and when I got back, I would say I really believe in muscle memory, because at work I didn't have to relearn it, but I had to find somebody who knits like I learned it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's more my story.
Okay. And continental. That's. I find that a lot of people who started with crochet knit continental versus
Yeah,
knitting English if they learned knitting first. Yeah.
yeah. I but it's actually, I think it's a normal way how you would do it in Germany. Most people knit continental here.
Okay.
There are some, but I think most do continental. I'm always a bit astounded because I see all those posts on Instagrams from people from the US or also from Canada who are
Yeah.
throwers, and they try to learn how to do it continental and have some yarn there on the finger, and I'm like, what's the problem, dude?
It feels so weird though. I knit English. Well, but I'm very fast. I'm more of like a picker than a thrower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take my fingers off the needles, even though I'm technically throwing. So I've tried also to learn continental, and I just don't like how it feels.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I have to say, because I think because I learned it as a kid, it's still a bit strange. I think I still do some stuff strange because I actually put it twice, or mostly twice around my finger, and I try to relearn it now, right? That I actually need to put it over the pinky, but
Yeah.
depending on how slippery the yarn is, I always end up twisting it
So
over
it's
the
kind
other
of
one.
like there's no real right or wrong.
Yeah, but
You
I
do what works
see.
for you, and
I'm having a hard time. I shouldn't say that out loud, but I'm having a hard time keeping my gauge, and yeah,
okay.
and it changes. So, and I know this is one reason why, because when you have it twice around your finger, of course it's a bit more. But when you then I change that, I always put it back
Yeah.
on. Uh,
Yeah,
anyway,
because your tension changes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's not good. I should get that done a bit more professional. Okay. Um, Tell us a bit about your product, please. I thought it would be nice to talk about your yarn first. this is what I'm other way around.
Dark gray.
Yeah, it's what I have. It's a DK base. Skies are gray. I love it like crazy. It's so beautiful. It's soft. And I think it's a very cool combination of it feels soft, but it's also stable
Yeah.
without being itchy. So it's really cool. It feels very cozy, and I feel like it's like armor.
And it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
That's one of my favorite, like tonal with a little bit of colorways, and I feel like it just goes with pretty much anything. And
my mom said it looks very elegant.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a big compliment from her.
Well, I mean that shawl shape is perfect too, right?
I should show that off a bit more, right? I asked for test knitters today. So.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, beautiful. I love it.
So it's super minimal and simple, but I think those details here.
Yep.
Right?
And just lots of different ways that you can wear it too, and yeah, it's beautiful.
It is made to be worn like this. It's not made to be open up and worn the other way around. So this is really Sonntag style. But yeah, you can wear all kinds of things underneath it. I think it's most beautiful with a dress, to be honest.
Yeah. Or a high-waisted skirt.
Yeah,
really
that would also be great. Yeah. That's true. And I'm a pear shape. Like I have smaller shoulders and actually after I got my son, mine is even more got even more bigger. Yeah. I would say my body is pretty much shaped by my son and Corona. Thanks a lot. So I think a lot of women know what I mean. Hopefully. So I was really looking at what do you need to wear when you have a pear shape? What can I do to make me look a bit, bit better?
Yeah.
And actually this shawl is perfect because it makes your shoulders look a bit wider. Gives a bit yeah, it is definition at the waist because it goes together here, and because you have all this drama up here, nobody is looking down what's going on down there. So yeah, just saying it's perfect if you have a problem there too. Okay, so again, sorry, I always find another way. That's the DK base. I think you have the same base in fingering, right?
Yes. All of our colorways are available on all of our bases, and the 4 primary bases that we carry are fingering weight. We have 2 options. One that is a 75-25 superwash merino DK, which is nylon, which is the same as the DK that you have. Mm-hmm. That's our most popular fiber blend, I would say, because of the reasons that you said. It's soft, but it still feels like it's durable. So it's great for sweaters or something that needs a little bit more strength, like socks or mittens or anything that's going to be hard wearing. And then we have a super soft base that is an 85-15 that's just a little bit softer. So I like it for baby items, or if I'm making like a really luxurious shawl or sweater. We have DK, we have worsted, and we have mohair and surrey. Mm-hmm. And then occasionally I'll want to try dyeing on a new base, so we'll bring that in, like a textured slub base, or maybe something a little bit more rugged. Like we have a couple of non-superwash options for that really natural, organic feel, like wool feel. But most of our customers, I would say, buy our soft base or DK. Those are
I'm wondering, I have a
And
feeling like most yarn dyers, there's kind of a pool where you buy your bases, or is it just, it feels like
there's
it's,
a lot more options available now, I think, in
yeah.
recent years. Yeah, so we're kind of a combo of bases. We have a UK um, supplier that we work with, a Canadian
Ah.
supplier, and on occasion we have gotten some yarn from the US as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that we could source more from Canadian mills, but there really aren't a lot as it stands right now to purchase from.
Mm.
And a lot of them are smaller producers, so they just don't have the volume that we need for we do wholesale and we sell online and locally, and they just don't have the volume, unfortunately. But hopefully one day, if we could provide, Canadian yarn across the board, that would be amazing.
Okay, yeah, that would be one of my questions actually. what, what you would like to what you would like to add on if you would have, like, say, all the money, all the time, all the power, whatever. But also, where do you see yourself a bit in the future with Smashnet? So that's nice to know.
Our hope is, Norm's and mine hope is that we can keep growing the business so that it can eventually become a full-time job for me as well. Right now I work outside of Smashnet as well, but in the next 5 years, our goal is that it can be both of our full-time jobs, and we would love to just continue growing it, not only with yarn and the bases and varieties that we offer, but we also are hoping to expand the accessory side. So all of the project bags, stitch markers, and kind of tools that we offer, we're hoping to add a machine, a laser CNC machine, so that we
Yeah.
can start cutting. Yeah, soft blockers, wooden tools, stitch markers, rulers. Really, the sky is the limit with those. So that's kind of our next step, I would say.
Yeah, cool. Love that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I actually built a bed.
Variety.
I did build a bed that is just made with a CNC cutting machine.
Oh, sorry, you did what?
I built a bed where you can sleep in.
Oh,
Yes, it's.
with a CNC.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is cool.
But it was a big one for furniture and not for jewelry.
Well, yeah. Well, the one that we want is big too, because there's so many other things that Norm would love to make with it also. But I would imagine that if it made an adult-sized bed, the one that you made an adult-sized bed with it.
Yeah, I made it in a way that you actually stick all things together. So it's just by sticking. Yeah. I did study industrial design, so that was one of my study projects, was that bed.
Oh, so you got to use the very cool industrial sized machine.
Yes. Actually, I couldn't build it at our university because they didn't have a machine for it. I did build parts of it there. We did have several workshops for metal and wood and so on. But this part was actually cut at a, oh gosh, what's the name? Tischler. Yeah, the company in my city that builds furniture and had a machine like that. So I made the plans, and then the cutter just cut it like I wanted to.
So neat.
Yeah.
They're very, very cool.
So I understand. I totally understand the excitement about it. It's really nice, and I think it's so interesting. There are so many different things you can do that way. I don't have the time for it, but I would also love to do jewelry. You can actually print silver. I think that's really interesting.
You can print it now with 3D printers.
Yes, you can 3D print silver.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh. I feel like there's a whole new world coming with that stuff. And
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
it is already developed quite a lot, but not so much. Not as much as I would like to see it in the design world, or in our design world of specifically, but it's already really really big in medical care, and that is a super interesting field because when you broke an arm or if you have some kind of chronic disease in your joints or so, you need specifically made stuff for it, to make it better. And for that,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing because you can scan anything 3D, and then you can print it just for you,
Yes.
and it will make a huge difference in some parts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just, yeah, it's crazy how fast it's evolving and developing and just the doors that it opens, really, in terms of fabrication and
yeah, and
design and,
exactly.
yeah, innovation.
And
Yeah.
in that part,
Really
also
cool.
knitting has gotten really big. I mean, it's machine knitting, and I'm also not into that one. I can't do that. But it's a combination of 3D printing and machine knitting that makes the craziest stuff.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
we are going
Hand
totally on a
knitting.
different road again.
And hand knitting is so, you can't totally replicate it, I don't think. There's just something about it.
Yeah. Okay. So, where were we? Where are your yarn bases? We talked about your yarn bases. We talked about your other stuff in the shops. I actually I cross my fingers for you guys that you can both do that full time. That's really cool. That's really really cool.
Thank you.
Uh, your yeah, your you said you developed the colorways.
Colorways. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that one. I try not to find another way out of it. So,
Um,
what inspires you?
I love dual tones and rich color, so that is something I'm always drawn to.
What is a duotone?
But dual tones like ruby or emerald or
Ah,
amethyst, it's just really deep, rich colors. I love them. I'm not into pastels really.
yeah.
I like a lot of nature inspired colors, so a lot of greens and browns and tans, beige, neutrals too.
Mhm.
Guys are gray, grays. I love gray. Our whole house was painted gray before we moved. I love it. It goes with everything. It can be warm or cool, and it's not quite as dark as black, and it's not white, which I will spill on white anytime I wear it, guaranteed, without
Yeah.
question.
I love white. It makes
So
me look so young, but it does. It makes your face brighter. It's no joke.
yeah,
You will see on your wedding day if you
I'm
wear a
not
white
wearing
dress.
white though. No,
No,
off
okay.
white. I can't wear white. It makes me look very, very washed out and
Ah,
more ruddy. I find.
yeah, it can be. I'm Snow White winter. I can wear the really crazy colors like white, black, and all the neons. Those are awesome for me. But if you
Yeah.
are autumn, you need the warmer ones.
Yes.
Yeah, you have the ones I always look L in. I look like
Which is so
it's
interesting
cool,
how
right?
everybody's skin tone difference and whatnot. But yeah, I can't wear white. So it'll be off white or ivory for me. But so a lot of the inspiration that I draw is just from where we live, the landscape. We live on the prairies, so there's not a lot of variation, but we like to try and travel within the province, especially in the summer, and go camping and whatnot, and being around the lake and a little bit of the Canadian Shield, which is more of like a boreal forest you get your coniferous trees and rocky, craggy landscape and a little bit of hills. It's definitely that's inspiring. I find being outside and just nature, and then also we do a lot of yarn clubs or theme collections. So I'm a huge, huge bookworm. I love reading. Um, Most recently, we did an Outlander yarn club.
Yeah.
I had that series. I can't even tell you how many times. So I draw inspiration from the books and the characters and just how they're described by the authors. So I guess it's really fun to just let my imagination go and have the ability and the freedom to create a colorway based on how I interpret something. It's a lot of fun. I love it.
Your actual yarn club is Yellowstone, right? Is it?
The most recent one is
Yeah.
Yellowstone. Actually, that just finished. So
Ah.
our newest one that launches July 1st is based on the book series A Discovery of Witches.
Ah, I don't know that, but it sounds interesting.
It's about magic and alchemy and the historical side of witchcraft and vampires, and so it's a little bit of fantasy, some magic. There's a little tiny bit of romance. It's really good.
That sounds
I'm really
awesome.
excited about it.
I love magic. I do love magic. I'm so looking forward also to the next movie from this past Harry Potter series, Fantastic Beasts. I'm totally in love with those. And I'm watching a TV series at the moment. It's called The Magicians, and it doesn't run anymore, but it has, I think, 5 seasons, and it's all about magic too. It's
Like Netflix or Crave or
no, that one I actually watch on Amazon Prime, and I
Amazon Prime. Okay.
hate Amazon Prime. It's really bad here in Germany. They don't get the subtitles right. Most of the stuff is in German in there. I have no clue why. It sucks. But it's there, and yeah, can't see it anywhere else. So wouldn't. But I don't want to recommend that streaming service. I didn't buy it. It's my husband. So sometimes there's good stuff on it. But I do love Netflix, and I'm in love with Apple TV at the moment too. Apple TV has really cool stuff, and it's as a designer, it's the aesthetics from the things that are in there are mind blowing. So I'm really a very visual person. I love to read too, but watching some stuff on TV, or also I love to go to the cinema. It's it's giving me kind of another feeling, another wow effect. So if it has a big visual impact. But yeah, okay. So that sounds cool. Do you want? No, you don't. Probably don't want to tell, right? It's all mystery. It's all mystery yarn clubs. Is that right? Yeah. So no, we don't say what's going on there. But it sounds amazing.
We have a theme each month for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then the colorway of the month is based on that. It could be a character, it could be a concept from the book, it could be just something that I've thought up that's associated to it. So there'll be a very brief description of what it might be, but it's a surprise, it's a mystery. Nobody will know what it looks like until they get it.
That is so cool. And do they get one skein each month?
Yeah, you can sign up for 3 months, 6 months, or a la carte each month. You can purchase it based on whether you think you like what the description is or not.
Okay, like that witch sounds awesome. I want to have it. And
Or, this month I'm not really into it, so I'll pass.
Okay, yeah, cool. I like that. I guess your people like that too. Yeah, it's fun for you too, right?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. I have to look on my little note here. What I haven't captured. Ah, can you tell me a bit how yarn dyeing works? I have no clue. I sometimes see those very quick reels on Instagram, but I'm always wondering, okay, how do you do that for real? So you get the yarn base. Do you have
Yes,
to wash it or so?
you get the yarn. There's a couple of different ways that you can go about it. So basically, the main um, process is you need your fiber, you need acid. If you're doing acid dyeing, which is what I will speak to because I don't do natural dyeing, so those processes are a little different. So you need your fiber, you need acid, and you need heat. So once you've got your yarn, you have to prep it. So we soak ours with water and vinegar, just household vinegar. That's our acid that we use. So it's easily accessible. It's affordable.
You don't smell that in the end.
No, you don't smell it. But soaking it in vinegar really softens the yarn also, and then the acid enables the dye to adhere to it when you apply heat.
Okay.
So then, once you've soaked it for whatever time frame you decide, then you want to heat the yarn up. Again, there's tons of different application methods for that. You could heat it in the oven. You can heat it on a stove. You could heat it in a microwave. You could heat it in a crock pot.
What do you do?
We use we use stove tops. We've got stoves that are strictly for dyeing yarn because obviously the dye powder that we use, it is a chemical. So we don't want to mix our food surfaces and appliances. So we've got ovens and stoves that are just for dyeing. Same with all of our pans that we use. Those are all just dyeing. We don't use them for food prep at all. So it's definitely a lot of tools and appliances that you kind of have to designate specifically for yarn dyeing if you're doing it on a bigger scale like we do. So we're lucky that we have a big workshop area where we can store all of this stuff as well. So we heat the yarn up, and depending on what style you're going for, whether you want tonal or solid or crazy speckles or variegated, that will determine how much water you're using in the pan or pot. And then it's just kind of dealer's choice. Like, are you applying the powder directly? Are you speckling it all over the yarn? Are you mixing dye up ahead of time and then pouring that liquid into the pan and kind of letting it mix throughout with other colors? Like, it's a very creative, there's a lot of creative freedom because you can come up with the process and the application that works for you and the style and the aesthetic that you're going for, and then you can play around with it, and really anything is possible. And fingers crossed, but so far I've had very, very few colorways or dye sessions where I've looked at something and said, like, this
isn't what I wanted.
It's not what I wanted, or it didn't work, or the colors are muddy, or it didn't go the way that I planned. So I think it's really hard to do that, which is the nice thing. Even if it doesn't turn out the way that you wanted, usually it's still beautiful, and it's a one-of-a-kind colorway that can be used in some way.
I actually love those. I'm a bit sad that I can't design with them because people want to be able to do it like I did. But I actually ordered from some dyers those potluck. Hedgehog fiber is called potluck, others call it one of a kind, and so on. But I think all dyers have some kind of yeah, extra sale where they throw those out, and I think it's a really fun way to get to know a yarn dyer, because then you can sometimes you can choose kind of crazy package, like a surprise package, and you get all kind of bases. And yeah, sure, there might be one color where you think, I wouldn't have bought that, but there are others that I really like. Oh my god, that's really cool. And yeah, so I think it's really nice if people still say sale that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, we do that with our, like, a lot of times we'll put together, we call them mystery boxes, and it'll be a variety of faces
yeah,
and colorways, whether it's, discontinued or a one of a kind or something that didn't quite turn out the way we wanted, but it's still really nice. And then that gives people an opportunity to try out different bases, and it's a surprise because you don't know what you're getting other than you pick the box that is warm colorways or pinks or purples or blues or that kind of thing. And then we throw in some stitch markers or notions, little zipper bags, that kind of thing, and it's a fun little surprise.
Yeah, that's also really nice. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Are you doing an advent calendar too?
Yeah, we're doing 2 different advent calendars this year, yeah.
I was a bit surprised that people are already advertising those. It seems so early. Is that normal? I mean, I don't think about Christmas at all during that time.
It is just because they are such a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
People advertise them early, so that I would imagine, like I know from our perspective, so that we can get our orders into our suppliers early and be very organized so that we can start. I mean, some people start dyeing them even right now.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Those seem early, but they take a long time. They're a lot of work.
I had one, and I really liked this excitement about it. Having every day one small mini skein. And then I got a bit, okay, what am I going to do with your stinkers? So I will actually bring out a design next month, one for the scrappies that you can knit with your minis from the advent calendars and all the stuff you still have left over. Yeah, because I thought, oh no, there has to be something. It's actually fun to mix it up, but you really, I felt like you need some kind of simple structure that gives you the opportunity to then blend it all together. So that's the idea.
And actually use them, right?
Yeah.
Unwrap them every day, and then, like you said, they go into your stash, and then you're stuck with 24 mini skeins.
Yeah.
What do you do with all of those?
It's so sad, too.
Yeah.
So, I have, I think, one more thing on my list that I would like to know, and then you can add whatever you want, if you want to. I would like to ask, what do you like to knit most? What's your favorite knit?
Ooh.
I know it's hard.
It is hard.
You can give me 3.
It has changed, too, just because, especially now having a 1-year-old and being back at work, my knitting time is very limited. So, and I think I have a little bit of crafter's ADD. I get bored with a project really soon, so it needs to be quick or small. So I would say accessories.
But you know what? Being a mom of a young boy, I mean, mine is 4 now, but and it's getting a bit easier, or my brain is a bit less mushy, but it took me forever to get rid of those baby brain, and nobody told me before about it. I'm really a bit pissed about that one. What is going on? I can't keep a thought for 3 minutes. Whenever he's crying, I was out. And so I won't tell you don't have ADD because I'm a candidate for that too. I'm pretty sure I have it. I haven't been tested for it, but on top of it, I want to tell you it comes a lot from having a young kid. It's really
Yeah,
they mess up with your brain like nothing else.
it's definitely a huge learning process,
Yeah.
that's for sure. Yeah. So just things that
Mhm.
don't require a lot of focus and I can complete within a reasonable time. Otherwise, it would probably take me at this point now, 3 or 4 months to finish a sweater, and then I get bored. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I can understand that. And also if those rows or rounds get too long and you only manage to make one every evening,
yeah,
yeah, that's
it's
also.
not as exciting.
Yeah, nah. Do you
Oh,
knit?
and I really enjoy right now knitting for him, like
Yeah.
little sweaters, hats. It's just yeah, it's quicker, and I love seeing the finished knitwear on him. That brings me a lot of joy. So I think that's probably what I'll knit for the next while.
I made for my son when he was younger. Now he decides. But I made some vests for him, and that was really cool in winter because putting on a sweater can be quite an accomplishment.
Yes.
Yeah, so having no arms is kind of cool. And it just
Yeah.
goes pops over the head, and he can keep on the PJs also. I also made them longer in the back, so the ass and the back would be covered. And I can really, if you scroll down my Instagram feed, you can see my son rocking those vests. He liked them.
Oh, I like that idea. Actually, I feel like you would get more wear out of that than just a sweater.
He was wearing them during winter every day. I also made them of a yarn that can take a lot.
Yeah, that's important.
It was
They
super
are
easy, really, just two rectangles sewn a bit together at the top here and at the sides. When they are so small, you can sew it, or you can also knit it in the round. But I wasn't able to do that at that time. Thinking about
yeah,
how long and where do I have to change. Now we get that done, but yeah, I was at another knitting point at that time, so it had to be super easy. Yeah, yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to see more little sweaters. I always like it when they pop up on your grid. Super cute.
yeah. They're just happy. I think like they make me smile. So
Yeah,
that's the whole reason we do all this, right? Is to feel happy or just like, especially in the last 2 years, reclaim some of that joy or those good feelings. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's also to relax. For me, it's a lot to
yeah,
relax. Um, there are so many reasons to knit. I actually would say everybody should try it. Usually, it also
oh,
helps you to learn to focus. Much easier to focus, put on your iPhone or smartphone, and just yeah, have some kind of good moment
yes,
going. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
All right, Ashley, where do people find you? Where can they buy your beautiful stuff, your yarn and the stitch markers and the rulers? Are there still are there?
All kinds of goodies. Yes.
Yeah.
You can find us primarily at smashness.com. That's our website. And we're on Instagram at smashness. I would say we're usually pretty active on there. Sometimes there's blips, but we love chatting. Well, it's me on Instagram. I love chatting with people about what they're making, their projects, just yarn in general, and being creative. And then we're in a couple of shops in Canada, which is listed on our website. So if you're wanting to shop at a local yarn store, you can hop into those and find us there. Um, that's pretty much it for social media and online presence.
And you have an Etsy shop. You have an Etsy shop.
So smashes.com redirect.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, did I miss your website? No, okay, it's an Etsy shop. Yeah, okay, cool.
Coming soon, it will be smashness.com, no Etsy.
Ah, cool. Yeah, congratulations. Oh my. Yeah, well, I have to say, making a website and also shop even on top on it, it's such a big thing to do. I I did my website again at the beginning of this year, and I only wanted to take a month for it, and I think after 4 months it was done. So, and I still don't have a shop on my website. It really,
Did you do it all yourself? Did you
yeah.
design your website? And yeah, that's a huge undertaking.
Do you have somebody who does it for you? No, nah.
No, so it'll take a while, but
Yeah.
fortunately, all of the platforms are pretty user friendly now. It's just a matter of finding the time to sit down and figure out what design works best for us, and then obviously adding the online shop component too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm super happy with my provider. It's all cool. It's actually a lot of fun doing the website there. I'm on Squarespace with my website.
Okay.
And you could do a shop there too, but that's another another story. But yeah, it's I don't have a shop. I just sell my stuff on Revelry and Payhip. Actually, I used to be on Etsy, but it's not so cool for knitting patterns. I think.
No.
No.
Etsy. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
So let's stop it here. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Well, thank you for inviting me. It was really, really great to chat with you.
thank you. You're always welcome.
Yes, we'll have to do it again
Yes.
in the future for sure. Yes.
Yes. Please.